Welcome to This Explainer. Instead of constantly hunting for that one revolutionary tech idea, the data shows us something kind of surprising. There are everyday entrepreneurs out there, literally guys in dirty t-shirts, quietly making millions from businesses that you and I walk past every single day. Today, we're going to unpack exactly how they pull it off.
Okay, let's dive right into this. 10%. Think about that for a second. The data shows that well over 50% of people desperately want to start a business, right? They want to escape that daily grind. Yet less than 10% actually pull the trigger and do it. Why is that gap so massive? Well, it's actually because ambitious people are paralyzed. They're looking in the exact wrong places for wealth, just assuming they need some massive stroke of genius or major Silicon Valley backing to make it work.
And honestly, that brings us to the great illusion we've all been sold. On one side, you have the classic Silicon Valley startup. Sure, it looks super glamorous, but it comes with a brutally high failure rate and just burns through cash like crazy. Then, on the other side, we've got the unsexy local business. It's boring. Society pretty much ignores it completely, but here's the thing. It absolutely prints money. High margins, incredibly low risk. Real wealth right now isn't found in writing the next line of viral code. It's hiding in the physical, unsexy reality of everyday life. So let's look at Phase 1. Physical asset cash machines. These are totally proven models operating quietly in the background, based completely around owning physical things that people use every single day. $8 million. I mean, wow. This is the sheer scale of what's possible with something as incredibly simple as an ATM. Just look at this micro case study of Paul Alex. He's a retired police officer who bought his very first ATM for $2,100? He just dropped it into a local nail salon, and that single machine brought in $500 in pure profit every single month. By finding high traffic spots like gas stations and just collecting those little transaction fees, he turned that simple concept into an $8 million a year cash printing empire. You keep it stocked, you make sure it works, and it just makes money.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real power of unsexy assets. Just compare the completely insane 95% success rate of laundromats against the terribly low national average for general business survival. I mean, why does it work so well? Because literally everyone has to wash their clothes. Now, sure, you do need upfront capital to buy the machines, and you absolutely must lock down the perfect location. Because let's be real, nobody is driving all the way across town just to wash a t-shirt. But once you have it set up, it is the ultimate passive cash cow. People put their money in, and you just collect it. Let's look at another brilliant physical asset. I love to call this one the tax-free gold mine, B2B equipment rental. So picture a construction crew right in the middle of a major project, and boom, their excavator breaks down. Absolute panic, right? So what do? They call up an equipment rental company and happily fork over $500 a day just to get a replacement because they're desperate to keep their crew moving. But here is the massive insider secret to this business. Say you buy $100,000 worth of equipment to rent out. Thanks to Section 179 tax codes, businesses can actually often deduct that entire purchase price from their gross income in that exact same tax year. It literally transforms a boring rental business into a highly efficient, tax-free wealth vehicle. Crazy, right? All right, moving into Phase 2, high-leverage local services. Here, we're shifting away from owning physical assets and diving into some incredibly powerful service monopolies. Consider something we call premium pet guilt. The whole pet care market is totally exploding right now, expected to hit over $250 billion by 2030. But here's the catch. The real unsexy business opportunity here isn't actually about solving a problem for the dog. Not at all. It's actually about charging high-income owners massive premiums to completely eliminate the guilt of leaving their pets at home while they're at work. These folks will gladly drop hundreds of dollars on premium dog hotels, fancy daycares, and high-end grooming, honestly, just to feel a little bit about their own busy schedules. You focus on premium services for rich owners, and your margins will absolutely go through the roof. Next up, we have emergency monopolies, and the leverage here is just incredible. First, think about heavy-duty towing. Imagine an 18-wheeler breaking down on a packed interstate. That driver is literally losing money every single minute they're stuck. If you happen to own the only rig big enough to move them in that area, you name your price. Second, HVAC empires. When the AC breaks in the dead of summer, people are sweating, they're miserable, and almost no one knows how to actually fix it. Smart owners pair skilled techs with killer local digital marketing, and they absolutely crush the competitors who are still relying on, terrible local radio ads. And third,
niche social media consulting. Forget trying to be a lifestyle influencer. If you target a specific local niche like real estate or restaurants and you drive actual measurable leads instead of just posting pretty pictures, you can easily charge 5 to 10 grand a month. Why? Because you're solving their biggest, most terrifying emergency, cash flow.
But wait, here's where we hit a massive roadblock. It's the difference between building an empire versus just buying yourself a stressful job. This is the ultimate trap. Why do you think most people actually fail at the exact 7 businesses we just talked about? Well, it's because they completely misunderstand their role. Look, if you're the one out there driving that tow truck at 2 in the morning, or if you're the guy wiping down the washing machines at the laundromat, you don't actually own a business. You literally just bought yourself a highly stressful, totally exhausting job.
Which brings us to the real insider secret, the system upgrade layer. This is that massive shift from thinking about what businesses you should build to how you actually need to run them if you want to generate true wealth through automation.
So, the crucial point here really comes down to a super simple 3-step framework. Step 1, you manage the software. Step 2, the software manages the employees. Step 3, the employees do the actual work. The very second you start one of these businesses, you've got to implement some basic business software, something like Jobber or just a simple CRM. That software acts as your brain. It entirely automates your scheduling, your invoicing, your customer follow-ups, the whole shebang. You just sit at the top of this system managing the dashboard. If you set it up right, you never have to touch a wrench, drive a tow truck, or fix an ATM yourself. Which brings us right back to our final critical question for this explainer. Are you actually building an empire, or are you just buying yourself a stressful job? Look, the world really belongs to the people who find wealth where everyone else is simply too bored to look. So I challenge you, stop hunting for that next glamorous tech unicorn and start looking at the unsexy physical realities right there in your own neighborhood. If you want more data-driven frameworks to help you build these systems and, more importantly, actually keep the money you make sure you subscribe. Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you in the next explainer.